I looked up into the clouds. He was there a minute ago, and now he's gone. Well, this was an experience I never thought I would have in my life. To see a friend rise into the sky and then disappear. But then again, I never thought I would have a friend that would walk on the waves, quiet a storm, or raise a dead man back to life. But then again, Jesus was no ordinary friend, not an ordinary teacher, and certainly not an ordinary man. No, Jesus was the Messiah, the Son of God. I had said so myself when he asked, and he praised me for it. So why did I turn my back on him when he needed me the most? Well, Jesus had just been arrested. Judas, that traitor, had betrayed him to the chief priests, whose men came with torches and clubs to take him away. And to be fair, I was willing to fight. I drew my sword and I waved it around and I cut a guy's ear off. When Jesus put the ear back on, I could tell he wasn't pleased. Well, everybody else ran, terrified. But I followed Jesus to the place where they took him. And while they interrogated him, I waited in the courtyard. And that's when it started. The pointing, the whispering, the talking. I thought I could handle it, but I couldn't. Well, Jesus hadn't defended himself. He had just gone with the men. So I didn't think that he was going to defend me either. So when the accusations started, I panicked. We saw you with him. You are one of his followers. Your accent gives you away. And it was all true. They had me dead to rights. So all I could think to do was to deny their charges. No, I'm not with him. I don't know. I'm not one of his followers. No, I never knew him. And in so doing, I denied him, my amazing friend and teacher, who I walked in the Sea of Galilee with, who I laughed with when he shamed the hypocrites, who I ate with when he fed a multitude of people with some fish and bread we got from a little boy. I denied him, just as he said I would. Just as I said I never would. 3 times before the cock crowed. So I ran, and I cried, and he died. And that was that. No chance to say I was sorry. No opportunity to make it right. Or so I thought. Because 3 days later, some women from our group came running back to us with some amazing news. Jesus' tomb was empty. Well, at first we didn't believe them. And so John and I went and checked, and sure enough, the tomb was empty, just as they had said. And when Jesus came to us later that day, and then appeared here and there to us and some of our friends, well, there could be no doubt. Jesus was truly alive. And whereas I was as excited and amazed and overwhelmed as any in our group, still there was this thing I needed to deal with. This thing I knew I had done. This thing I needed to say I was sorry for. This thing that lingered between us. I was ashamed to bring it up, I guess. Or ashamed or uncomfortable. Well, probably all of those things and more. So Jesus did it for me. We were out fishing one day and we saw this guy cooking breakfast on the beach. And when John realized it was Jesus, I jumped over the side of the boat and I splashed my way to him because I wanted to deal with the thing. I mean, I really did. And maybe this was my opportunity. And then I didn't. That's when Jesus asked me the strangest question. He said, "Do you love me?" Well, of course I said. "Well, then feed my sheep," he said. Well, this was not a response I was expecting. I mean, feed my sheep. What did he mean? Would this somehow again prove that I loved him? And then he asked me a second time. He said, "Do you love me?" Well, again, I said that I did. And again, he said, "Feed my sheep." And when it happened a third time, and he asked and I answered, and again he said, "Feed my sheep," well, I was truly puzzled. I mean, I answered him once. Did he not believe me? I answered him twice. Had I not been clear? And then when I answered him a third time, I realized 3 times early in the morning. Just like the 3 times I denied him early in the morning before the cock crowed. That's what this was about. This was the chance I was looking for to say 3 times that I was sorry. And this was the opportunity that Jesus was looking for as well, to say 3 times that he trusted me to put his sheep, his followers, into my hands. And that is why I could look up. On that day that he rose into the sky and said goodbye, confident that all was right between us, look up and smile and wave in wonder, because I knew when I saw him again, which he promised I would one day, that there would be nothing but joy in that reunion.